Welcome back to the channel, legends. I hope you had an amazing Christmas and Happy New Year to you all in 2026. Guys, I've got an amazing video for you today. We have got a PvE Streets loot run. Now, a legend has stepped in order to help me with this video. A good friend, long-standing community member, content creator, and streamer, Mr. Melledork. Now, Mr. Melledork will be bringing his best and favorite Streets run that he likes to do for loot. And it's very educational to the extent that it could help maybe some new players learn the map. So this is all come from Mr. Melledork. This is his run. He is the Streets guy. I very rarely go to Streets without him, put it that way. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And if you do enjoy the video, please make sure you go and give him a follow over on Twitch. Yeah, I want to say thank you to Mr. Melledork for sharing this content with us. And without further ado, enjoy the video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.
Hey everyone, Mr. Melledork here. You usually see Tarkov content from Madmarsh, but today I'm jumping in because I'm the one in the group that usually wanders the streets. If you want to learn more from me in the future, you can hit me up on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrMelledork. In this video, I'm going to be trying to walk you through one of the most solid street runs with an optimal spawn. But there's many alternatives depending on which keys you have, which extracts you have, and where you spawn. Quickly, these are the keys that I normally keep in my sick case when I go to streets. I'll throw them on screen here, but you don't need every single one for the run. But if you want to get the most out of the map, these keys will always help you out. They range from the route we're taking here today, but also alternative spots. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So I know exactly where we spawn. We spawn by Relaxation room is down there. The door is up there. Check 13 is over here. So we're gonna start the loot run. This is more of the the original loot run where you grab the Relaxation room key. There's always different places to loot, but this is my run. So first thing I'll do is go to this marked room. There could be PMCs here, so I like to check that while I wait for my frames to settle. Nobody reacted to my grenade. So this is check 13. I find it to be a very successful room. What I normally do is I pick up a lot of the things that I can't see through, like these guns and armors. This armor is really good, but it's heavy, so I'm not gonna bring it with me. But I'll put those things there so we can look for what I'm essentially looking for is key cards, like this one. This is not a very good one. Look at the ammos, look at other different things. I'm currently wearing a helmet where I can have a flashlight on it, so I'm using that flashlight to look around. I picked this up just to check underneath. So not a very good room this time. Has a lot of weapons, but you don't normally open these rooms for weapons. And this is a 9mm vector. I would rather much have a 45 ACP one. So I would call this room pretty much a bust. Yeah, not much else to call it. Usually a poster around here. This is not one of the posters, but if you're looking for posters, spot on that wall. Okay. We stash this one away. We get ready for the next thing, which is now grabbing the key to a room we're going to open way later. PMCs spawn down there a lot, so be sure to look. Okay, I like to run over to this side because the movement through the building just goes much more natural. Spawn location 1 for the key is 1 behind the trash bag here. You'll see a white dot if you get close. behind this pizza box. Now it's more inside of it because the pizza box used to be further down. Number 2, or number 3 actually. Here, no key. Usually very good to loot duffel bags and cabinets. And of course, computer towers. You can always find something nice in them. Like this one. Okay, next room. This room has 2 spawns for the key. One in the skull's teeth and one in the crotch here. And we hear enemies outside. So that problem is solved. I feel like I heard 2 footsteps, so there might be one more. Oh yeah, I should mention the negotiation room key can spawn in the mouth of the pig. You might want to check that. The key is not very valuable. Another key spawn in this little fold here in this magazine, and then on here, which you can currently see the key spawned on the prongs there. That key I talked about, called negotiation, that spawns in the pig's mouth, opens this door. I'm going to show you this because this is another spawn for a key. So on this tray it can spawn. There's usually some like hideout loot here, a medical bag, and then a computer below this table. I'm gonna grab this key, put that there. Nothing that I want there. PCB I need. Okay, there's 3 more key spawns. One is on this tray here of the whiteboard. On this little knob here. And if the key is there, you can close this door and the key will still float midair. Then you have one location right here next to the little pink box, and the last one is on top of this ashtray on the hookah. Let me grab this. Fire steel. One thing that's also very good to do during these loot runs is to, if there's a scav you can check, make sure to check them. They do usually have some decent loot on them. Like, I found most of my mark room keys on scavs. I found like 2 GPUs on a scav. So when I loot scavs, I check their pockets and backpack. Normally you find keys in pockets, but it can also be in the backpack. Depends on how they loot them. So, pocket, backpack. And usually the later in the raid, the better the loot is. Over here is where the boss lives. He has snipers on the roof that you might have to deal with. This part of the run, sometimes I skip out on, sometimes I do not, but I just call this hole in the wall. In here there could be PMCs, usually this door is open if that's the case. And the first thing I do is go here, and then there's 2 jackets. And jackets is always a good source of keys. Like RBPP. I don't know if that's a good key or not. There's a body here on the stairs that you can loot. Another jacket, and then the cabinets that I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of them on the streets, and a lot of your value comes from these. So these things I see as like things you do in between the big things. So one of the big things is the check 13, the relax key, which I'll show you later where to use. And then Now we're going to check 15, which is on the second floor here. In here, a bag can spawn right there, which it did. And we got a bear buddy. Next one up, medical container can spawn here. Streets is not good specifically for lead X's, but hey, if you can get one, you can get one, right? So now we can go to our next spot, which is here, up 2 floors, and here. This room is always openable. Can have some loot. And then you have the iron gate key to open these. I don't normally consider worth it, but you can find some syringes, useful for some quests. There's 2 dead bodies in here. Okay, so these are very skippable. If you want to get all of your value out of the map, do it, but... So now we're going for the main one, which is check 15. That's this key here. This is a very often a pretty good room. As you can see there, we got a Bitcoin. That's a huge find. Okay, thank you for life story. Vibing sneakers, skull ring. In these drawers there can be stuff. A little press pass. I feel like at this point we gotten half of the cap items already. And be sure to like look around just in case something doesn't properly load in. This key here, I wouldn't say it's worth it. This key, I'll show you what the key does, but if you don't have the key, if you want to get back down and out, you go back here and you kick this door open. And these are the stairs that we went up 2 floors, right? And if you have the key, like, it's not worth buying, but if you find the key, which you might if you're running a lot of streets, just keep it and then use this. It brings you right to the exit. So this is the hole. That's the body we looted pretty early on. This is also like an optional loot. There's a little office here that you can loot. I don't know if the key is worth it. To me, it's not been, but I don't even know if I have the key on me. I do not. It's called Store Manager's Key, I'm pretty sure. Has some decent loot, but depending on what the key goes for. There's some technical supplies here. There's a bag and jacket in there. We'll loot them. We have time. One thing, like, you get technical stuff from these. If you ever wonder what kind of loot you'll get, it says it up here. The thing is, a lot of scavs spawn here and they loot these things. So I haven't had a lot of luck with it, but your mileage may vary. Also, be careful. Up here, there's a little machine gun, and scavs like to go on it and end your whole raid. Here's 2 paths for you to go, depending on if you have the keys. We're gonna go over here, but I'll show you what you can find over here. So if you don't have any of the apartment keys, like you need a bunch of different keys to loot this. If you go over here, so let's go through these keys. I can write down all the keys that you need for this, but there's, I think it's like 8. And this area also has a lot of scavs. You'll see them start coming in after we stay there for a little bit. So up here, second floor, through here. The first room here does not require a key. Very seldom I find anything here, and it's usually food items. This one is the first key. And this is cinema. Sometimes I've seen spawns there, but it's mostly like technical spawns in front of this TV. Ton GPUs here. And this is Conk 8. Some valuable spawns on this. Like this skull ring. This Veritas. Be sure to check these things by like hovering your mouse near them. If there's a Bitcoin, it could be spawned like halfway into something. This is Conk 34. Like technical spawns down here. Also be sure to, if there's big items, pick them up, because as you can see here, 2 items can spawn in the same location. Hot rod. And here, I've found the Bitcoin here. Not this swipe, but previous swipe. Some sugar. Badge. Be sure to sniff around in different locations. Okay. This is not a room you can open, and in here there's a PC. And you see, like, we're like not even halfway through the run yet. We're soon at the point where we have to make decisions about what do we want to throw out, what do we want to keep. Okay, so those are the first apartments. And then we have this here. And then we have this room here. Not a super great room. That's 63. I've had a Bitcoin in here, so it's not like the worst thing to do. These keys are usually very cheap too. I think all my streets keys like combine to like 400,000, and then the mark room keys on top of that, which is a couple million, but that's where you get most of the value anyway. Here, very seldom, but stims, like probitals and stuff. Okay. Next apartment. This is Conk 64. So this one has a quote-unquote free room where you just use 1 key. Some little dolls. So these are valuable spawns. Here you don't need the key. This is... I don't remember if there's a quest in this room or not. Be sure to hover over these things. And this one you need another key for. And this key is Conk Office. Be sure to hover things. You have the PC. Be sure to check here. I found valuables inside of the PlayStation here. Also check the chair. So those are all the apartment keys. There's one more that I'll show you in a second. There's a body if you want to loot that. Has a safe, has 2 computers, and the rest of the spawns in this place is mostly like gun related, like pots. In this little barbershop, as I call it, there's some bags, one there and one here. So we're gonna continue to this little, I don't know what I would call it, like a small warehouse. And then I go in here. On the left here, there should be a little pile of boxes here. And then up here you have one of those. And a duffel bag down there. And I loot this corpse. Sometimes a duffel bag next to him. Up here, I find items here sometimes, so be sure to check that. Those jackets always get me, and then you have a cabinet here. This is the only place that might be a problem for my gun here, and that's up ahead is the cinema, the theater, and on top of the roof there's up to 2 sniper scabs, and you see one right there. And then we have the realtor office. We got a bunch of duffel bags. Here we have a triple cabinet. So far we got I think it's like 4 keys. This is the RIA key, the one you would have found down there on the little key placard if it spawns there, but mainly what you do here, where the line is, there's a spawn where a Bitcoin can spawn. You can also spawn right there, and then you check the tables. I actually found, so here's the manual. Here's a battery, gas analyzer. Check these. I've seen intelligence in them before. So what I normally do here is another free one, no keys needed, is I just check back here. It's mainly if you're looking for some gear, like this for STM, for example. We have a Bitcoin here, that's the first, that's a good one to capture on camera. Yes, now we need to do some things. I don't care too much about the diaries. I'll put these 2 in here. And then, of course, cash register should have some money for us. But I'm going to show you the relax key, the one we picked very early in the road. There's usually a duffel bag behind here. Also be sure to check these little recliners for Bitcoins. This one, this one, this one, and this duffel bag. on this mannequin in front of us here, you can spawn pretty good armors. It didn't this time. Another doll. This bag is the bag I found my first Ledex in. Not this time. Be sure to climb up on these, crouch and walk while looking down. Looking for loose loot, so make sure to abuse your little white reticule. Now duffel bag, and there's one more duffel bag in this place. There we go. And we found nothing in this one. Also be sure to look at the tables that are around here. Moonshines can spawn there. Relay. So, like, this is the white dot I'm talking about. Like, the closer you are to the item, and the brighter it gets. Like this Veritas here. And then for good measure, we check out this thing here, and then we dip out. And this is Damaged House. Decent loot. That's gonna do it for the Streets loot run. Keep in mind that this route is only like half of the map. The other half is totally doable. And depending on your spawn and what extracts you got, you can go a completely different way. And if you want to see a video on that, be sure to bug Marsh about it. For this run, after selling everything, we ended up with 2.2 million rubles plus about 100 euros, 100 USDs, and on top of that, I'm still holding on to 2 bitcoins, and we also got a GP if that matters. I also did spend a lot of time like showing alternative routes, talking about different things, so we were a little lacking on time. So we didn't get to hit Abandoned Factory. Normally I would have done that, but our bags were full anyway, so it's not a big loss. If this helped, please drop Marshall a sub. He does a lot of great content. I know his series on marked rooms has been hella good, and lets you know which keys to buy and what to sell. Anyway, see you guys soon. Bye!